The Boston Red Sox had a very interesting season last year. However, ultimately didn't reach any of their goals as they finished 78 and 84 in 2022. They do have some key players still. Rafael Devers locked up long term. However, they did lose some players. They did bring some in too. But they do have a very interesting team heading into 2023, and we're going to cover that right here on our Boston Red Sox team profile. My name is Derek. I'm here with Joey. You're watching Bleacher Brawls, and let's get straight into it. As I said, 78 and 84 was the Red Sox record in 2022. Didn't reach, what they wanted to reach after making it to the ALCS in 2021. But heading into 2023, I'll hand it off to Joey first. Who are three key players for this Red Sox team in 2023? And out of those three, who do you think's really going to make the biggest impact?
My three key players are people that are big question marks to me. Devers had a down season last year, in my view, compared to what he was able to do in 2021 and 2019. So can Devers go and be that elite top five in the league MVP guy? Brian Bayo, can Brian Bayo be a Cy Young or 1-2 type guy like many people pump him up to be, or was that with those last few starts at the end of the year, flash in the pan? And then I think the biggest question mark overall is Yoshida. Yoshida, I saw on MLB Network the other day, they were talking about how Japanese hitters have had a tough time transitioning to the MLB recently. So hopefully Yoshida is not one of those people, but Yoshida is in my view the key to this team's success.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Obviously, Devers is a big part. I did have a kind of Yoshida down. It's like he's going to be a big part of this team, but I think key player Chris Sale, obviously. Health is a big factor. And I did have Yoshida down, but instead of Yoshida, let's talk about this guy, this very, very important guy, Alex Verdugo, because he needs to take a step for this Red Sox team. Obviously, he was very good the last 4 months of 2022. From June on was very good. Can he continue that? Hopefully, maybe bring a little bit of more power. And by power, I don't say sell out for home runs. I think he's got some kind of untapped power that you just haven't really seen. He's been a little unlucky, like fly balls to the warning track that just don't get out at Fenway, or he's been a little unlucky in that sense. So, I think we see a very good season from Alex Verdugo. And for me, he's the key guy alongside guys like Rafael Devers and Chris Sale. But enough about kind of just key players. So let's talk about this past offseason. It was a very eventful one for the Red Sox. They brought in a guy like a Masataka Yoshida, who, coming over from Japan, had just had struggles, like you said, although, Seiya Suzuki had a 115, I think, OPS plus last year, so not terrible, still above league average by 15%, but people were hyping up a lot more than that. You do see that a lot. People hype up these Japanese players a lot. They brought in Justin Turner, Adam Duvall, Corey Kluber, Kenley Jansen, Chris Martin, a bunch of those guys, but they also did lose guys. Xander Bogaerts left, JD Martinez left, Nathan Eovaldi left. Out of those moves or any other moves they've made, what do you think is going to have the biggest impact on the Red Sox? Positive, negative, in the middle?
I think the largest negative impact you're going to see is, I think, almost obvious. Losing Bogarts, that hole in our lineup is not really being filled. The positioning in our middle infield is really a disaster right now. You don't know who's playing where, especially with Story going down, which amplifies the tension created by Bogarts leaving. Bogarts' leaving will not only affect the team performance-wise, but has affected the fan base in a very emotional way. And in my view, is absolutely damaging to the skill in this lineup. Now, should they have given him that contract? I wouldn't have given that to him, but it's undoubtable that, a 300 plus hitter missing from the lineup is really, really going to hurt this team.
Yeah, I think that's 100% fair. Obviously, Bogart's big piece of the team. Sucks to lose him. The move I want to really talk about, and this is a little bit of a mix almost, but the kind of a changing of leadership here with the Red Sox, but kind of the one guy who I see really coming and changing the culture, it's going to be Justin Turner, right? Yes, Justin Turner's not going to be the Justin Turner he was, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever. But he was very good down the second half of last year for the Dodgers. He'll probably be the DH, but clubhouse. Think of the clubhouse. Think of the lot. He is a clubhouse guy. Him and Kike are best friends. They're
They're
actually
going to bring
living
the
together.
beard thing back. They're going to bring the beard and
Yeah,
mustache thing
maybe.
back, right?
Kike and Justin Turner are actually living together for spring training, actually, in Fort Myers. They're living together, so that's gonna be kind of funny. There might be some funny stuff that comes out of that. But yeah, it's definitely I think, Kike Hernandez has said that Justin Turner, when he stepped in the room in LA, he was a big kind of culture changer there, in a good way. And I think if he can come do that for Boston, because the culture last season in the clubhouse wasn't always a great one. So I think bringing in a veteran presence like that, who's also very close to Kike, has played with Alex Verdugo before too, and he's just going to be a big clubhouse guy for a lot of the young guys, like a Tristan Cassis, and even some of the younger pitchers, like a Brian Bayo, even though Turner's not a pitcher, to have a guy like Justin Turner there, I think is going to be huge for this Red Sox team.
That's true. And Bogarts last year was particularly depressive at certain times. It really casted a black cloud over the team. So now with Devers being re-signed, Bogarts being gone, that whole thing being over, hopefully a lot more people on this team have a lot brighter of a future. Even though, the team might not do as well, at least there's stability. And we can be happy that this team could have stability. People like Justin Turner and their older guys, veterans, people that have seen a lot of stuff go on. And that's the key things to a lot of these teams. In 2013, the Red Sox, wow, no one's expecting them to do anything, but a lot of 1, 2 year veterans came in and they really brought up the morale of the team. I'm not saying that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I am saying it's more important than a lot of people give it credit for.
Yes, clubhouse dynamics definitely a big thing. And I say it should be a fun team, regardless of how good they are. They have a lot of big personalities that should be fun and should hopefully gel together. So with that, we talk about 2023 in the season. What do you have as the expectations for this team? This isn't necessarily what do you think is going to happen? More of, what should the expectations should be regarding the talent they have and, all that.
I think this team is capable of being above 500. I think in the particular league environment we have this year, I think they could stretch it to a third wild card spot. I think that's the hope, is that you could nab that third wild card spot and then anything can happen in October. But beyond that, I don't see this as a 90-win team. I see this as at most maybe a 87-win team or something like that at the very best, right? But it's very likely that they'll be hovering around 500 all season. It's what's really going to depend on this. What we're really going to have to depend on is the rookies, Bayo, Cassis, Yoshida. That's going to be the answer to the question. And we'll be able to see in the first few months whether those guys are all legit, like the hype was saying they were, or they could all not be legit. I mean, there's a chance out there that all three of them are complete duds next season. It's happened before.
Yeah.
So the Red Sox they're a team of contradictions. They have a lot of quality, a lot of potential, but they also have the potential to be really, really bad.
Yeah, and injury risk too is a big thing. And that's why for me, this expectation for the team is just gel together. The team should gel together. I feel like it will. It seems like they're going to. So, gel together, be competitive, first of all. And being competitive means being in games and not getting blown out and winning games and winning the games that you need to win. And, hopefully it gels, everything comes together. Hope for some injury luck, because injury luck's always a good thing if it's on your side, and see what happens and push for the playoffs. I think that's the goal. I think you should be around 500. The expectation is that you're definitely above 500. And then you really should be pushing for the playoffs. I think that's where they are. Yes, they've lost some talent, but I think overall that's kind of expectation. Above 500, push for the playoffs. I think that's the expectation. All right. I think that's, a great place to actually kind of close this off then, with our expectations for the team, obviously. Any other fellow Red Sox fans, obviously Joey and I are both Red Sox fans. So any other fellow Red Sox fans, let us know your thoughts on this team in the comments. Let us know how you feel about them, positive, negative, somewhere in between, a little bit of both. Let us know. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified when we post. Check out the links to all our other team profiles that we've done so far. Will be the first link down there, so check that out, along with all their other links for the Bleacher website, podcast, Instagram, and Twitter, plus all the crew's Twitters. So that's a good place to wrap it up. For Joey, my name is Derek. Thanks for tuning in to our Red Sox team profile here on Bleacher Brawls, and we'll see you next time.